if that didn't wake you up, if your afternoon was sluggish, that should totally pump you up. That was great.
Thank you.
Fantastic. So I've got bongos happening here on my right. I've got this awesome keyboard setup going on to my left. Could you kind of give me a rundown of who is in the Marcus King band here?
Yeah, on percussion on congas and bongos, we have Jason Phillips. And over on the Hammond organ and keyboards, we got Matt Jennings. On bass guitar, we have Stephen Buttons Campbell.
Oh,
Back on the drum kit, we have Jack Ryan.
fantastic. How did you guys come together as a band down there in Greenville, South Carolina?
Well, it all happened pretty organically, really. You know, I met all these guys just through playing around town, and individually I met each of them, and I knew I was like, I want that guy in my band one day, you know. And then just over time, it just happened to where we all kind of came together into this configuration, and it really feels nice.
And did you start out just mainly doing live stuff before you stepped into the realm of recording, or were you already trying to put stuff down?
Well, I started recording. I had my first recording experience with my dad's band, Blues Revival, Marvin King and the Blues Revival, when I was 11. And
So this is you're an old hat at this now, aren't you?
I'm just an old guy now. Yeah. But it was at that point I kind of wanted to start my own group, you know, and kind of fly from the nest, so to speak. And had a group for a while, and it was just here in the past couple years that this configuration came together.
Okay. Well, and you mentioned your dad, which I believe he is in here in Studio B.
Yeah, he's here hanging out.
Yeah. How was that experience playing with his band to begin with?
Oh, it's always fun, you know. Just because we both have the same like wavelengths, you know. So we're kind of, you know, like the DNA strand. So it's really easy and organic playing together.
It's musical DNA.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice. And when you decided to do your album that's out right now, Soul Insight,
Mm-hmm.
how did that come together? How did that even become a thing that you guys were going to end up doing?
Well, we were looking at recording, and we were trying to figure out where we wanted to do it. We were talking about doing it in Atlanta, or we were talking about doing it up in Nashville. And then we had a friend of ours come up, and he said, there's this killer spot right outside of San Diego, California, called The Compound. And Shelby Maddock is the engineer out there, and she kills it. So, you know, we just ended up going out there, and that was a really organic experience because we all lived in the studio. They had bunk beds for us.
Wow, that's cool.
Just 2 weeks, we were just there, just this beautiful country, you know, and just living in the studio and just cutting tracks, you know, at our leisure.
Nice.
So it wasn't like a forced thing. So it was really just kind of natural experience.
That's great, because I would think that would make, especially if a band is people that you're getting on with really well anyway, and you have the same vibe, that living in a studio would just create some really awesome music.
Yeah, it really does. Like, you know, and we had one little kitchen and with one little stove eye. So like some arguments, you know, arise. So
No, there's a question. Did any of those arguments or anything like that, did that become part of the album? I know there's a track on there, Fraudulent Waffle. I wonder where that comes from.
Fraudulent Waffle was I was served a waffle that I did not order. So
This is a true story put to song.
yeah, it's a you know, it's yeah. Yeah. But we were just you know, at a popular waffle place, you know. But I ordered my food, and she brought me a waffle along with my food. And so the whole meaning of the song is like the beginning of it, like the samba is like my internal battle, whether or not I should eat the waffle, because I knew if I ate it, I'd have to pay for it. But if I didn't eat it, I wouldn't have to pay for it. And then the end of it like slows down, and that's when I take the first bite, and I was like, it's worth it. It's a good waffle.
See, that never happens to me if I go out and eat. I'm not getting any awesome ideas like that. I'm just like, oh, that's a plate of fries I didn't want. And I was noticing you have a Miles Davis shirt on, which is awesome in general. But Does jazz play a part in influencing the kind of music?
Yeah, absolutely. Stephen and I, different years, um, we both went to the Fine Arts Center in Greenville and studied in the jazz theory and jazz performance programs with Steve Watson. So jazz plays a really pivotal role in this group because we've all studied jazz separately, you know, and
Oh, wow.
Jack studies with Jeff Sipe, who's one of the most amazing jazz drummers in my opinion, or fusion, whatever.
Well, and yeah, because to me, that's kind of a sound. You've got that fusion, that jazz kind of fusion sound in there amongst all the other things. And that was a lot of influences I would think would come out in there. You sound like rock, you sound kind of bluesy, you sound kind of funky. Where are you pulling that all from besides yourself, obviously?
Well, I mean, we gain inspiration from everything, you know, from like Tribe Called Quest to John Coltrane. You know, it's like
Nice.
anything that we can get our hands on. Really, since I was a little guy, I was, you know, always just after the music, and you know, raised up on the Southern rock, and then like this whole new psychedelic rock movement that's coming back around is really influencing us a lot. So we decided to call our genre psychedelic or jazz influenced psychedelic Southern rock.
It sounds awesome. I like it. I'm enjoying that fusion in particular.